Boxing fans were blown away by Manny Pacquiao's most recent workout video, which he posted on YouTube. The boxing icon is very fast, strong, and athletic for his age 46. His comment section was full of fans who picked him as the favorite for the fight, even though they were different ages. Pacquiao first showed off his footwork routines. At the end of the film, he did mid-hitting training with Roach. In previous fights, the effective fighter and teacher pair could be seen planning how to counterpunch when he was pinned in the ropes. Barrios got a lot better at moving his head and being patient. He also fought much better than he had before. 4 years ago, Gervonta Davis began as a brawler, a sort of fighter who pressed the action and put pressure on the opponent. But he developed into a terrific counterpuncher, making him even more efficient as a multi-dimensional boxer.
So you don't lose that point. Awesome. On fire.
Now it is up to Roach and his team to create the ideal plan against the younger and larger Barrios. Antonio Margarito and Miguel Cotto are two bigger fighters that Pacquiao has fought and beat badly. Joshua Claude and Ricky Hatton in the ring says that Pacquiao kept up with his normal training schedule while he was in the United States. He started each day with easy exercise workouts at a park in the Fairfax district. The 46-year-old great will have just 2 months to prepare before meeting Barrios on July 19, 2025, in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Manny, I think Rolly has the WBO 147 title. He says you're his legacy fight. Rolando, he says you're his legacy fight.
You can't teach speed, you can't teach power. It's God, it's from God, that's it. People can work on speed their whole life, they're not gonna be fast.
Filipino boxing icon Manny Pacquiao and his coach Freddie Roach were at the Wild Card Gym in Los Angeles, continuing to train for Pacquiao's upcoming fight against American champion Mario Barrios. Pacquiao lost the senatorial election in the Philippines and is now training for his comeback fight. Manny Pacquiao, boxing's living great, has shifted his focus to his impending blockbuster fight against Mario Barrios and has begun training camp at the Wild Card Gym in Los Angeles, USA. Pacquiao shared a workout video from the Wild Card Gym on his official YouTube channel. There, familiar faces met the sport's only 8-division world champion, who also reunited with his longtime coach, Freddie Roach.
Welcome back to Los Angeles, Manny.
Boss,
We miss you.
you're looking in tremendous shape. You're ready to fight Barrios tonight and make history, Manny.
Manny, you excited to step into the ring again?
Yes.
What do you think of Barrios? He's a big, strong, he's young, he's 30. You have 16 years on him, Manny.
On his first day back, he was joined by his son Jimwell, who is currently in the United States pursuing his dream of being a professional boxer. Pacquiao was joined by MP Promotions President Sean Gibbons, assistant coach Buboy Fernandez, and personal helper David C. Midway. Through the posted videotape, former World Boxing Council featherweight champion Mark Magzio was seen taking notes on Pacquiao's training routine. On Wednesday, Roach posted images of himself and Pacquiao working together on Instagram, as they did in the past.
Roger Fernandez. Si Roger Fernandez.
Pacquiao's last professional bout against Cuban Yordenis Ugas in August 2021 was a majority decision loss. Pacquiao, 46, and Roach, 65, begin light work training, which includes min sessions, punching bag work, and shadow boxing, on August 2nd, with a 62 win, loss, and tie record and 39 knockouts. Pacquiao emerged from retirement to fight Barrios for the World Boxing Council welterweight title. The world's only 8-division champion's choice was met with criticism and outrage, given that he is 46 and fighting a 16-year-old Barrios. On February 1st, the 30-year-old Barrios had a 29-win, loss, and draw record, with 18 knockouts. Pacquiao is unconcerned about the big age difference and the fact that he is up against a boxer in the prime of his career. As asked about the situation as he arrived at Los Angeles International Airport on Monday, he replied quickly and with a laugh, "Don't worry about it. When the boxing world whispers Manny Pacquiao's name, it is with a mix of amazement and curiosity." The Filipino legend's career is marked by several wins, belts in 8 different weight classes, and a distinct mix of speed, talent, and unshakable courage. However, as Pacquiao's showdown with Mario Barrios on July 19th in Las Vegas approaches, one lingering question rises above the excitement, a question asked by none other than fellow boxing veteran Mikey Garcia. Pac-Man returns to the ring at the age of 46 after a fairly long hiatus of 4 years. His upcoming bout against the World Boxing Council welterweight champion has sparked excitement and intrigue within the boxing community, especially considering Manny Pacquiao.
First of all, Manny Pacquiao, Coach, how you doing? Boo Boy said thank you for all the kind words you said about Manny. He says he watches the videos and he appreciates it.
Well, who else wouldn't say? What else is there to say about Manny? You know,
He's a legend.
like a living legend. You know, and like I said, just gotta tip your hat off to him, man.
What do you think, him and Barrios? We're getting closer and closer.
I've seen the videos, training hard.
Look, I've been around for 15 years.
When asked about Manny Pacquiao, the 4-division world winner said, "Eli Sekbach, what else is there to say about Manny? You know he's a living legend." The interviewer responded eagerly, questioning Garcia's views further. "What are your thoughts regarding him and Barrios?" "It's getting closer." The younger brother of experienced trainer Robert Garcia did not hesitate to stress Pacquiao's work ethic, saying,
Yeah, I'm telling you, people think it just said 10-second clips at Mike Tyson. No, he's really light. He ran an hour and 10 minutes, then he shadowboxed 20 minutes.
I believe it. He's a hard worker. He always worked very hard. I remember seeing them train.
You're sparring him.
He was training super hard, so I know he has the work ethic and everything. I just gotta question a little bit, because of the age and everything that he's been out of the ring for so long. So that's the only thing that you gotta question. But I mean, if he can pull this out, fuck.
"I've seen the videos. He's training hard." And indeed, the 8-division world champion has been training relentlessly, a fact underscored by the interviewer who noted the misconception some fans have about Pacquiao's preparation being akin to short social media clips reminiscent of Mike Tyson before his controversial fight with Jake Paul last year. Sekbach explained, "People think it's just like those 10-second video clips of Mike Tyson, but he ran for an hour and 10 minutes. Despite his admiration, the retired boxer raised an important concern a fair and resonant one that has echoed throughout boxing history whenever luminaries tried to return after long absences.
That's
He will pull it off. I told him this morning and the noon.
just like Foreman, and that, Hopkins.
Yeah.
He already is a legend as it is. This is just cherry on top.
What's up, Pita? Hey, Mikey said Manny, if he beats Barrios, is the best ever. Big G, what do you think? Big G. Big G, what do you think about Pacquiao and Barrios?
Barcia made it clear, my only questions are about his age, like he's been out of the ring for so long. That's the only thing you have to question. Still, Mikey Garcia couldn't contain his excitement about the potential spectacle of a victorious Manny Pacquiao comeback, comparing it to historic victories by George Foreman and Bernard Hopkins, saying, but if he can pull this off, then, damn, just like Foreman, like Hopkins, he's already a legend as it is. It would just be the cherry on top. Pacquiao's return is more than just a fight. It's a moment that could either solidify his legacy or raise more questions.
Pacquiao and Barrios.
Tu opinión de Pacquiao y Barrios, ¿cómo la ves? He wants Pacquiao to win.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Porque es una historia con él.
History. It's a history, with him.
Puedo igualar la historia.
No one could ever be able to equal his history, his story. It's historic.
Your dad told me once that if Manny Pacquiao was American and not...
When boxing historians talk remarkable comebacks, two names stand out: George Foreman and Bernard Hopkins. Their experiences serve as permanent benchmarks for fighters looking to achieve greatness in the latter stages of their careers. George Foreman's return to the boxing ring after a decade-long absence surprised the sports world. He had initially quit in 1977. Foreman returned in 1987, at the unlikely age of 38. What began as a spectacle evolved into a serious chase of the heavyweight title, ending in his historic 1990 knockout win over Michael Moorer. At 45, Foreman became the world's oldest heavyweight winner, confirming his legacy. Similarly inspiring, Bernard Hopkins beat expectations by being competitive into his late 40s. Hopkins did not only extend his career, he changed it. At 46, he defeated Jean Pascal in May 2011 to earn the World Boxing Council light heavyweight title, breaking Foreman's record as the oldest boxing champion. But that wasn't all. He broke his own record 2 years later, beating Tavares Cloud to win the International Boxing Federation light heavyweight title at the age of 48. This victory made him the oldest boxer in history to win a world title. A year later, he added to it by beating Babit Shumanov, making him the oldest fighter to unify world belts at the age of 49.
Wala ginawa tama mo ba? Wala ginawa tako. Side step ba?
With a good resume and recent victories over famous opponents, the San Antonio fighter is a real threat. Against an older Pacquiao, the showdown has aroused questions and worries in the boxing community. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, the undefeated World Boxing Organization flyweight winner, was one of the most outspoken in a recent Hand Rat TV interview. Many people are enthusiastic about Manny's return, which shows he is a great legend, but he will be hurt. He should have stayed retired. Rodriguez remarked,
It was that potential fight, which to me is a little bit shocking.
Yeah.
Part that, Pacquiao has been in the ring for 4 years.
Yeah.
He's coming back. facing Mario Barrios. I mean, have you talked to him? Were you shocked as well with that, that fight announcement happened?
He did mention it to me a while back, but it was kind of in the works still. I didn't really believe it at the moment. I don't think he did either, but now it's almost official, so I think it'd be pretty cool just to see a friend I grew up with fight a legend like Manny.
He continued with his explanation. He shouldn't be fighting anymore at 46 or 47 going up against someone like Barrios. He's just going to get beaten badly. Rodriguez's remarks represent a feeling shared by many in the sport. While Pacquiao's achievements are unquestionable, boxing is a young man's game. Barrios, known for his aggressive style and agility, may be the wrong opponent at the wrong time. His recent performances show a fighter gaining confidence and honing his skills, exactly the type of challenge that might reveal a veteran's slow responses.
It's right for Manny to come back and fight. I mean,
if he feels like he has it in him, then why not?
What is your prediction for that fight? Even people saying that at his age, training camp is different. Watching him, do all that. It's obviously different being in the ring. But how would you break that fight down for us? Obviously, Mario has a height. He has the length.
Yeah. I think Mario is gonna go out there and just put a beating on Manny. I think Manny's a little too old, but he's a legend. He already did what he did, so I really don't see it.
Pacquiao, who last fought in 2021 and lost to Yordenis Ugas, has stayed mostly vocal about the criticism, but the significance of this comeback is symbolic more than physical. A triumphant return might cement his already legendary position, whereas a crushing loss could mar the closing chapter of a great career. Oscar de la Hoya, Pacquiao's former opponent and current promoter, knows all sides of the equation.
For him to come back, but if he wants to get in the ring with Mario, then I guess Mario has to show him that he has a youth, and Manny Pacquiao should have just stayed retired.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of fans are saying, and are still kind of disbelief. But even looking at social media and the fans, they're thrilled just to see him back.
Yeah.
Speaking at a charity event for the Sugar Ray Leonard Foundation, De La Hoya offered appreciation and caution. "I wish him the best. Can he do it? Absolutely. Manny Pacquiao is a star. It won't be easy, but I believe he can accomplish it." Yet, De La Hoya stated that he knows firsthand what it's like to confront Pacquiao. Their 2008 bout, called the Dream Match, ended with De La Hoya retiring on his stool. Now, 16 years later, he's among those asking the boxing community to value both desire and risk.
Just to have him in the ring, and fighters at that age are not competing.
I think that just says a lot about the type of fighter Manny Pacquiao is, the stardom he has. He's 46, 47?
He's 46.
And people are still excited to see him fight. So, that just says a lot about him and what he's done in his career. So, like I said earlier, to see a friend I grew up with fight Manny Pacquiao, it's gonna be pretty cool. And at the same night. So, it's a huge night for San Antonio boxing.
Lastly, July, we're also September, if I'm not mistaken. Just want to get your...
Pacquiao's likely fight with Barrios has yet to be officially confirmed, but all signs lead to a big night in July, with whispers swirling about possible streaming arrangements with Netflix and a rising push for boxing to reach a larger audience. The stakes are higher than ever on his show. The fight with Teddy Atlas expressed concern over Pacquiao's age, his performance in his most recent fight against Yordenis Ugas in 2021, and his upcoming exhibition match against Ruki Ampo in 2024. "I'm quite concerned," Atlas stated.
Yeah, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite fighters in the whole world. He's moved up from incredible weight. People forget about that. That's why I brought it up. How many weight classes this man has really moved up. Incredible. Just incredible. But now, Barrios wouldn't be as big as those other guys, but he's still a guy that's confident. He's a guy that's a world champion. He's a guy who throws a lot of punches. He's a guy who's younger, who's active,
"I don't want to stop anyone from making a living or making money, but I'm very concerned with a guy, a great man, who's helped his people, fought for his people, lifted his people up, and given money to his people. But he gave money to his people that is in a position now that he has to fight at 46, and after 72 fights. Pacquiao, 46, looked his age in a unanimous decision loss to Ugas, who was a late replacement for former unified welterweight champion Errol.
I know You can't go by this guy beat this guy, but he could beat that guy, but he could beat this guy, but you can't go by that in my business, in this business, because styles make fights. But you're right. He beat Ugas. You could say Ugas was a little older than when he fought him a little bit, than when Pacquiao fought him, and maybe that made a difference, whatever. But he did take a lot of punishment, Pacquiao, in the Ugas fight. I thought that Pacquiao, for his age...
Barrios defended the interim title once, beating Fabian Maidana on May 4, 2024, before being promoted to full titless after Terence Crawford vacated the belt following his move up to 154 pounds in his only defense of the World Boxing Council welterweight title. On November 15th, Barrios fought to a draw with Abel Ramos on the undercard of Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul. Keith Thurman is Pacquiao and Barrios' other shared opponent. Pacquiao won the Super WBA welterweight title by a split decision on July 20, 2019, while Thurman beat Barrios in a one-sided unanimous decision on February 5, 2022. Atlas believes Pacquiao will be able to step straight back into a world title challenge due of his career accomplishments, and that beating Barrios is his best chance of becoming boxing's second oldest champion.
At that moment, even though he lost the fight, even though he took punishment, I thought he performed as well as he could. I thought he performed well. I really did. I have to say the truth. I thought he performed well for what he could do at that weight and at that point in his life. But I also thought after that fight, he should probably think about leaving, because he performed as well as he could.
Nonetheless, the Hall of Fame trainer believes Pacquiao has an uphill battle considering his age, the wear and tear he's acquired, and how long it's been since he fought in a sanctioned fight. "I just think you're playing with fire," Atlas said. "That's all I think you could do. Walk around, navigate a little bit, say this and that, but there comes a point where no matter how much you shift the furniture around, you still know what room you're in. You can't fool yourself." And he's in a room with 72 fights at 46 years old. Boxing has seen great comeback stories throughout its past, the most impressive of which being George Foreman, who took a decade off just after his 28th birthday and then fought until the age of 48. That story clearly resonated with Manny Pacquiao, who is poised to return to the ring at the age of 46.
It's sad because he's gonna make a lot of money, so we can't feel sorry for him. But at 46, almost 47, it's almost impossible for, you know, I'm just 4 years older, 3-4 years older than him, and it's not easy to try to think you're gonna get in shape and be able to perform like the way you were. And, you know,
Pacquiao's weight class, as well as his lengthy layoff, complicate things. Foreman was a heavyweight, and fighters tend to age more gracefully in that weight class. But that's all for now. Stay up to current on boxing news, moments, events, and activities by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to switch on notifications to be told when we post quality material like this. Until next time, peace.